No, somebody told me that what I'm doing is destroying people's hope, y'all. And to be fair, I thought about it because I get why it feels that way. When you challenge beliefs people grew up with, it can sound like you are taking something from them. When you ask for evidence, it can sound cold. When you question a story that gave someone comfort, and they may hear it as an attack. But I need to say this clearly. I'm not trying to destroy hope. I'm trying to separate real hope from false hope, if that makes sense. Because those are not, they ain't the same thing. False hope tells you to ignore reality. Real hope gives you the strength to face it. False hope says, don't ask questions. Real hope says something more like, ask the questions and keep standing. False hope needs protection. Real hope can handle pressure. False hope panics when evidence, walks in the room. Real hope pulls up the chair and says, let's have a discussion, let's talk. And that's the difference to me. Some people think hope means believing whatever makes you feel better. And that's where I disagree. Sometimes that makes you feel better can also keep you stuck. And sometimes comfort can become a cage with pillars in it. It feels soft, but essentially you're still trapped. And a lot of people do not realize they are protecting the cage because it is the only place they ever felt safe. And I understand that. I really do. I spent years in the belief system where questioning felt dangerous. You learn to treat doubt like a disease. And you learn to treat curiosity like rebellion. You learn to treat evidence like an enemy. And then one day, you start asking honest questions, and suddenly, people act like you joined the dark side. No, I did not join the dark side, people. Sometimes you're not losing hope. Sometimes you are losing the fear that was pretending to be hope. That is a hard thing to explain to people who still need the old story to sleep good at night. And I'm not mocking y'all for it. I'm not mocking anybody for it. Everyone has something they hold on to. Everyone has a story that helps them survive. But I say this all the time. Survival is not the same as truth. A life jacket can save you in deep water, but you're not supposed to wear it forever in your living room. At some point, you may have to ask, is this helping me live, or is this keeping me afraid? Because false hope often comes with a leash sometimes. It says something like, you are safe as long as you don't question. You are loved as long as you obey. It'll say something like, you have purpose as long as you believe what we told you. You are good as long as you don't step outside the fence. That's not freedom. That is like a gated community for your mind. and the HOA is fear. Real hope does not need to threaten you to keep you close. Real hope does not need you to lie to yourself. Real hope does not need you to pretend the evidence is stronger than what it is. Real hope is when you can look at life honestly and still say, I am here. I, myself, I still have a purpose. I still have people to love. I still have work to do. I still have mornings to wake up. I still have a life worth showing up for. That is hope with a backbone. Not the cheap kind that folds the moment someone asks a question. And let's be honest. Some people are not defending hope. They're defending comfort. They're defending certainty. I see them defending a worldview they never had to inspect. So when someone like me says, where's evidence? They don't hear a question. They hear a debacle, a demolition. But maybe the problem is not the question. Maybe the structure was already weak. If one honest question can shake the whole building, don't blame the question. You might want to call the contractor. Truth should not be that fragile. Meaning should not collapse because someone asks, how do you know? Purpose should not disappear because one belief changed. If everything you are depends on never being challenged, that ain't peace. That puts you in a hostile situation. And if you ask me, your mind deserves better than that. Now, I said that so I know people will say, well, if you take this belief from people, what do you have left? I've been asked that before. And my answer to it is life. You have life left. You have your family. You have your friends. And honestly, you can have your health if you're lucky, you know. I'm trying to think of examples, you know. You got time, memory, laughter, music, food, art, learning, love, discipline, growth, and the chance to become someone better than you were yesterday. And if that's not enough for you to build hope on, then maybe the problem isn't life. Maybe someone taught you to look past life so long that you forgot how valuable it is. That's what I'm trying to bring people back to. Not emptiness, but reality. Because reality is not always pretty, but it is solid. You can build on it. You can heal on it. You can make decisions inside of it. False hope gives you a dream and tells you not to wake up. Real hope opens the blinds and says, get up, we still have work to do. And I respect that kind of hope. I actually respect that kind of hope way more. It doesn't run from pain. It does not deny grief. It doesn't pretend bad things are secretly good because someone forced a lesson into them. Sometimes pain is just pain. Sometimes loss is just loss. Sometimes life is unfair without a hidden message. And even then, we can still choose to care. We can still choose to love. We can still choose to protect people. We can still choose to tell the truth. That kind of hope is not weak. It is grown. It has been through something. And it doesn't need fairy tales with fairy dust and stuff sprinkled on it to keep it going. Now, do I understand why people want comforting beliefs? Of course I do. Life is hard. Death is scary. Grief is heavy. Uncertainty can sit on your chest like the rent do. And I'm not pretending this is easy, but I would rather face a hard truth than be carried by a soft lie. Because a soft lie still drops you eventually. And when it drops you, the ground does not care how much comfort it promised. That is why I question claims like I do. Not because I want to hurt people. Not because I want to take away every warm feeling they have. I question claims because people deserve hope that can survive reality. People deserve meaning that does not need fear to hold it together, y'all. People deserve truth even when truth makes them rebuild. And rebuilding is not the end. Sometimes rebuilding is just the first honest thing you ever do. You learn who you are without the script. You learn what you value without the threat. You learn how to love without being watched. You learn how to live without waiting for another world to make this present one matter. Overall, I mean, that's powerful, y'all. That is not hopeless. That is, it's freedom with dirt under its nails. That is peace that had to fight for itself. So when someone says, I'm destroying hope, I just want to ask one thing. What kind of hope? Hope that can't be questioned? Hope that depends on fear? Hope that tells people to ignore evidence? Hope that keeps people obedient but not honest? Because if that is the hope being destroyed, maybe it needed to go. Not all hope is healthy. Some hope is just denial with a nice outfit on. Some hope is fear with a smile. Some hope is a chain calling itself a necklace. And I'm not here to polish chains. I'm here to ask, why are we even wearing them? But real hope, I will never destroy that. Real hope is what keeps you honest when life gets heavy. Real hope says, even without all the answers, I can still move. Real hope says, even if I was wrong before, I can grow up. Real hope says, even if the old story falls apart, I ain't finished. That is the message I try to convey. I am not here to leave people empty. I am here to show people they can stand without pretending. They can heal without lying. They can live without fear. They can have purpose without being handed one by a belief system. So no, homie, no, I ain't trying to destroy hope. I'm challenging the false hope, because real hope does not need protection from truth. Now remember, no fear, no dogma, just clarity. Thanks for watching The Jewish Skeptic. I'm CJ Everson. See y'all in the next one.
Do you know what I found? The more you know, the less you know.